All right, we back in the building. We back in the building. Salute to everybody that's here. You already know I'm Blue Devil, and today we back with another video reaction. Now, look, today we got Chicano Tube. The title is "The Streets Have Taken Over the Podcasting Game." Now, look, I never thought that I'd see myself reacting to Chicano Tube or even talking about Chicano Tube due to the past little fake drama. I don't consider it real drama. I don't really care. Believe me when I tell you, bro, none of this shit is real to me. Okay? I know a lot of people might look at it as it being real, but I don't look at none of this as real, bro. Not a beef with this guy, that guy, him, her. I don't really care, bro. I do this because it's a business, and once I get off, I go on to other things, bro. I've been saying this since the beginning of time. So when 100 people diss me, it's like, okay, we'll do something. I don't care. It means nothing to me, right? But look, before we press play on this video, big salute to the squad. Big salute to the day ones, day threes, and the day fours. All right, you know what that means. You don't gotta ask me, and everybody in between. Last night we was live on Twitch. It's right here, bro. We're not doing Kick no more. We canceled Kick. All right, so everybody needs to go follow my Twitch, bro, cause that's where we're gonna live stream every day. That's I was thinking of something. That's where we're gonna live stream and IRL. All right, IRL is when you're walking around with the phone outside in real life. All right, IRL in real life. So make sure you guys go to Twitch, TheHaterWorld. Go follow, because that's where we're gonna be live. Now, of course, YouTube, we're still gonna do the uploads, reactions, and 200 boys. But all my personal shit, where you see me by myself, they're all gonna be there. So make sure you guys go over there and go follow my Twitch. All right, go follow Chicano Tube. Go follow whoever. I don't care, bro. With that being said, let's press play on the video. I don't know what it's about. I read the title. I think it's about the beef with me and the other YouTube guy. Well, I don't got beef, but they think they got beef. So let's see what Chicano Tube is talking about. All right, let me forward this real quick.
That's right. We're back. We're live on Chicano Tube. We're live on Chicano Street. Do me a favor. If you like, si gustan, you can hit the like button. Just some formalities. Let's go through them. You can hit that like button. If not, right next to it, you can hit the chinga tu madre. It's all good. We got thick skin, Chicanos in California. In general, there are some softies. Absolutely, there are some blanditos, right? You can hit the chinga tu madre button.
You're not lying, bro.
Let's go ahead and keep it professional. Let's go through the formalities. Gracias to all the day oneers, everyone inside the members only, man. I highly appreciate the members only showing the respaldo from day number one.
Come on,
Keep it
fool.
interesting. Also, not just all the negative or entertainment, but there's also the positive channels. Rest in peace over to my brother Rascal, one of the few positive channels that I see on YouTube, right? And let's go ahead and get into something that came across my feed. I said, well, right now I got the time. So let me go ahead and pull over and talk about this one. It came across my feed, and let's start it off by saying this. I think it was a couple weeks ago already, and it was on the Food Community podcast, or I want to say it was the All Facts. Yeah, the All Facts podcast. Yeah, All Facts, where they have all three of them on the panel, right? And American Cholo was called by Prime on his phone. So shout out to Top Food, shout out to Prime, shout out to Compa Raider. Hey, they're doing their thing. They're on the internet and using the internet, man. Like we should be using the internet to keep it popping and do what we got to do, right? Make the necessary moves that we could buy little fucking villas and haciendas in Mexico and just retire, cabrones. So shout out to them. Prime called American Cholo, and it was toward the end of the podcast. I want to say like the last 10 minutes, right? Because they talked about it like going into when they cut it. And American Cholo says something that hit me, and I'm like, bro, you couldn't have said a truer thing. You couldn't have said it any truer than that. And what did he say particularly? What particularly did he say? He said that the streets are taking over. They're taking over YouTube.
Not true. Not true. Not true at all. I'll tell you why. You just got a group of dumbasses that think they with the business. They running their mouth and not doing anything. Once again, I'm gonna bring it up. When do you see me calling out real gang members? When do you see any other real gang members calling out gang members on YouTube? You don't. When you see me talking shit, I'm talking shit to screen names that don't have a face. I'm trolling the trollers. But you've never seen me come on here and be like, hey, that vato from barrio this and barrio that, what up? You a bitch. Never. Because I know we do that shit on the street. We don't do it on the internet. When have you seen American Cholo do that? Never. When have you seen Hoodstocks do that? He's on the fence about it, all right? But for the most part, you've never seen any of the ones that are attached to the street life do that. You know who you have seen do that? The Mongolitos way, the Goofies, the ones that are not from the streets. Okay, those three you mentioned, then Norbies and a bunch of other ones that are either disregarded, not wanted, or it's just plain dumb. But you've never seen the ones that are still in good standing, the ones that are still, accessible in the streets, do some funky shit like that. So let's cut that. American Cholo was wrong right there, bro. It's only the goofies doing that shit.
They're taking over podcast. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play a clip right now. What came across my feed, and it seems like the shows. I don't know if it's for entertainment factor or what, but they're taking it there. Okay, they're politicking. They're sitting there,
What you
and
gonna
I'm
play?
like, it could just be for content purposes, right? And again, this is not no crazy level 10 security housing unit
Security
politics.
housing.
But when you want to get the streets involved in podcasting, that's different, man. It's really, really different. That's a slippery, in my
Come on,
opinion,
what
a
you got, fool? What you
slippery
got?
slope. The youngsters know I would never represent nor misrepresent nor speak for nor say, certain things on the internet. Well, let's just go ahead and play the clip, okay? And one of these individuals, there's two individuals here, two different podcasts, nothing new as far as their beef goes. Here we go. They're getting into it full steam. And let's
Full
just play that
throttle.
clip.
T-Rail, I'm looking at you. Hey, T-Rail. They asked you, are you condoning Tyga grooming minors? Bro said, "Oh, we don't groom minors. We groom billionaires."
Who is this? Does he sound drunk? He sounds drunk.
This is the owner of the food community.
Oh, I don't know who
He's
that
from.
is.
But let me give my take. First and foremost, big shout out to the cast on Back on Fig and T-Rail.
That's T-Rail, right?
That's T-Rail. That's
Smack. Yeah, I
and
like
that's
Smack.
T-Rail's
Smack.
wife, right? First and foremost, you can't be held liable for what another man does. All right? If there's another man that does certain shit that you don't know about, that ain't got nothing to do with you, number one. Number two, this podcaster right here had a whole podcast with Back on Fig and T-Rail, which to me, all that, bro, is a no-go. It's like, come on, you had them in your presence, you said nothing. Now that you don't have them there, now that, people are trying to get views and clout and all that, now you want to say certain things. But it's like, no matter which way you turn it, you can't hold that man accountable for whatever anybody else did. All right? And since we all roll on paperwork being Mexicans, where's the black and white for you to make accusations like that? Facts.
Yeah.
Like, you out here making full accusations on a whole nother man and a whole nother race. Facts. With no PW, no Facts. Black and white. But this is what happens when people that are not involved try to get involved in politics.
Yeah.
It's like, know your place.
What's wrong with these burger buns? They taste perfectly delicious, but due to a production mishap, their bottoms are slightly...
What's
Got
funny?
politicking on him. So you saw that. It was basically the hater world. And of course, there's no secret. There's the guerra going on with Tafu. Let me break this thing down nice and clear and make it.
I want to hear this because I don't know what I said that was wrong. Okay, I don't know what I said that was wrong. But the guy that was making a statement from the food community, he stepped into the streaming world. Okay, in the streaming world, everything you say gets clipped. That's something I had to learn early on, bro. When I got into the YouTube streaming world, everybody was clipping every time I fucked up. If I said something stupid, clip. If I said something dumb, clip. If I said something very clip. Nobody ever clipped anything good of my shit. Nobody ever clipped, oh, Blue Devil did some good shit. Oh, Blue Devil giving love to this rapper. Oh, Blue Devil showing this fool the business. Never. But if I say some stupid shit, clip. And so it's like, hey, I'm gonna return the favor. If that's the game people are playing, I'm gonna return the favor. Nobody ever clipped any good shit, bro, and I do a lot of good shit, homie. So again, remember, the fool from the food community, those guys, they went to back on Fig, and they smutted me up with lies, bro. I'ma be honest. I'ma be honest. Top Food didn't smut me up. He had my back. He had my back. The other fools smutted me up. You see how honest I am? I could be lying right now. I could lie to you right now. But the top fool had my back. Because I don't have a problem with the top fool. I still don't. As a matter of fact, he said that I did a podcast where I said I was gonna touch him up. I never did. And if I did say that, it wasn't aimed towards him. It was aimed towards the other goofies. But he probably didn't catch it. Or he probably took it the wrong way. Because I don't have a problem with him. And I'm not the type to start problems with people I don't have problems with. That's just the way that I am. But if he thinks that I did and he feels that way, then fuck it. All you gotta do is text me. You know? All you gotta do is text me. And if I did say it that way, like I said, my bad. Because that's not what I meant. You know? But I do say a lot of dumb shit, fool, and I be forgetting. So maybe I did say some shit like that when it was only intended towards the other guys, but I didn't put an address on it. So, I mean, maybe I did, but like I said, weren't my intentions. But let's see what Chicano Tube got to say about me.
As simple as can possible, right? There's two different podcasts, and both of the podcast owners are in two different worlds. They're in two
Facts.
different worlds, if that makes
Facts.
sense, right? One is, seeing the business venture, I believe it's from, shout out to Top Food from Bakersfield, moving down to Los Angeles or having residencies in Los Angeles or places of business, right? Buildings, right? Maybe you own a couple buildings in LA, and he's doing his thing and he's getting it popping over there. I got to give credit where credit is due, is that the revamp of the Food Community Podcast was good, was great, was spot on. And so he got to going. So he's gonna do what he's gonna do now. That involves, if you're in content creating, just look at Adam 22, babosos. Look at Adam 22. They're thirsty for viral moments, cabron. I'm not saying Top Food or Food Community, but I'm saying that's the game. Is getting content, is getting trending, and smashing through numbers where eventually the right people, it's gonna come across the right person's, eyes. And
Yes, but let me tell you something, fool. Let me tell you something, Chicano Tube. When you're cool with a certain individual, you don't find dirt on them. And if the food community went on to back on Fig and they were cool with them, why are you digging up shit to talk about them for? They're your people. They're your allies. They're your allies, bro. Why would you? They allowed you to go to their platform that's super humongous. They are the culture for rap and hip hop. Why would you even dig up anything to talk about them for? That's a lifeline. Now, I understand if something happened to hit the news where it's trending and it's happening today, all right, you got to talk about it. But that's just 20 years old, bro, or 10. And you're bringing it up now. Why? It makes no sense, bro. It shows the loyalty. It shows the dishonesty. It shows the character. You ain't never heard me talk shit about Chicano, about American Cholo. You ain't never heard me talk shit about Droops. You ain't never heard me talk shit about Opina. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk shit about anybody that I fuck with. You ain't never heard me talk Nobody. Lefty Gunplay, nothing. Now I might have my little takes, throw my little subtle shots, but it's all within the guidelines of I ain't burning no bridges. We still partners. Why would I do that to my people? And if food community is cool with back on Fig, why would you even dig up anything? There's 1,000 other topics to talk about, bro. Why would you do that? Now, I'll tell you what that cost. Now, back on Fig, because of my response, now they follow me. They had been inviting me over, but now they actually really tapped in. So, I mean, thanks to them, I guess you can say, we leveled up a notch.
And you could have an investor that possibly wants it to, turn into something on a larger scale, right? Which is great, great. But that's a whole different lane than from the hater world is, cabrones. That's a whole different lane. If you haven't noticed this, because a lot of people are just 70-80% of the gente on YouTube are just, it comes across their algorithm because they're local. Most of you guys are in California. And of course, you're going to watch, Chicanos. We're popping. We're always the cool kids, right? People want to hang out with the raza, the Chicanos and stuff. The hater world, but he's in a whole different lane, man. He comes from the calles and you can hear it because he'll say only to the extent that he, will say for the internet, knowing there's cameras recording. And I've seen that. And I already said, okay, este cabrón. All right, he's cut from that cloth. Okay, he's gamed up, he's laced up. And it's really him that's politicking in this video.
What?
And I'm like, cabrón.
Come on.
First of all, cálmate, way. Okay, the code of the streets is different. You bring in the code of the streets. That's why people,
Come on,
the
cut it
YouTube
out.
blew up and all that shit because now motherfuckers want to know. The code of the streets is, have no paperwork and telling and complete the mission, cross the finish line. Just the
shit.
standard, right? The standard issue, right?
Didn't complete the mission.
And that's bringing the streets onto the politics. Well, I mean, of course, that's going to limit the bag, but you can see
it does.
that he kind of wants to take it there, cabron. He kind of wants to say, hey, you're a resident, or maybe even worse, sir. I thought I heard someone say in the comment section, I'm not making this up, but someone said in the comment section, he says, and he was talking about that one, panocho. He was talking about that pussy. He was saying he's worse than a resident. He's a pedestrian. That a resident at least has an address.
Got in a car accident? Don't call a lawyer. Use this free AI tool instead. That's how I walked away with $93,000.
A pedestrian. That's funny. He don't get along with Pocho? I didn't know that, bro. Why doesn't he get along with Pocho? I thought they were homies. I thought they were from like the same place. What the fuck?
And a pedestrian no tiene domicilio pa nada, el cabrón, right? So, two different worlds, but politicking over
That's
here.
Funny.
What's gonna attract that is the constant crashing out to having to get viral clips, the constant having to be, because we don't want to stir up the same old shit. At least I don't. You know what I mean? American Cholo, who was on here for a minute, I always like to give flowers. I'm a motherfucking flower giving channel. You're gonna see me because I know that the system of honor works that way. You want to be honored, you need to honor. Pinche American Cholo had laid down some principles, and what was not going to happen on the YouTube yarda. One of them is we're not going to allow in the Chicano genre. I know we call it YouTube yarda. That's all fantasy football bullshit, but it is what it is, right? People like it and it's cool. Let's keep that going though. It is fun. But people, we don't want to stir up black and brown division. There's already so much fucking brown on brown division. Why are we wanting to stir up black and brown? For what? For content, for clicks, for views, for comments. We're going out ass backward as a society, especially the internet landia, which I also call computer land, is going out ass backward if this is what we value. But I get it as far as the business sense. I get it. I haven't seen Adam 22 with no jumper. I haven't seen them go any larger scale than where they're at. Makes me think, have they peaked and plateaued already? Or how come there's no series? How come there's no big offers, for entertainment? But it is what it is. Anyways, two different things, cabron. All right. This is for the hater world, man. Shout out to you. Shout out to Opina. Shout out to Droops. Man, as soon as Droops hit that couch right there, you're talking about the calle credentials you already had, cabron. Now you got Droops. I remember when he was on American Cholo, or I think it was an interview over there with American Cholo, and he said, "Yeah, I heard about Droop, Highland Park," and he's like, "Yeah, that's me." And American Cholo was like, I remember he even paused in the video. He was like, and if you know,
Now look, a lot of people say that, bro, but let me explain something. All right, big shout out to Drews, bro. Ever since he came, bro, we've built a bond, bro. We're very tight, bro. Okay, but a lot of people always say like, oh, you got Droops there for protection, or Droops gave you the credibility you didn't have, or this or that, right? But it's like, I don't know if you've been paying attention, bro, but there's a lot of people in the background. You just don't see them because they're not podcasters or they don't like to talk. They're just in the back. You know, Droops is vocal. He people love him. So when he gets on the mic, it does bring an extra, you know, to the podcast game. I'm not taking that away at all. I'm not saying that he's a real motherfucking gangster. All I'm saying is that when people are on the outside and they be like, "Oh, you need him for protection," like, what are you talking about, bro? Like, there's plenty of dudes here in the background that are of that level, and they're just not seen. Like, cut it out, bro. But I know what he's saying. I know what Mikey is saying, but salute to my brother Droops. I'm gonna try to get a pod this Sunday. Hopefully I can get something cracking. We're supposed to do every Sunday with Droops. I just haven't had a guest every Sunday. But we're locked in every Sunday. I just gotta figure out the right guests. I'm not trying to have Droops here and have a goofy ass guest, so maybe you'll see him this Sunday.
if you don't, we don't have to elaborate, okay? But there's no reason to politic way. The guy does want the beef. Maybe he wants the fucking tips. Maybe he wants the hands. If he wants the hands, then fuck it. We can line that shit up. Absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Someone send me a DM and say, line me up. Okay.
This Vato trying to get the bag, fool. He a slick salesman, homie. He not playing nobody. You not playing nobody, fool. Listen, fool, I've had offers from like big people, lots of money, fool. I'm nobody's clown. I'm no one's entertainment. I'm nobody's fucking circus. I ain't nobody's fucking form of fucking laughter. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not here to fucking be nobody's headline. I'm not here to play no one's games. I'm not here to play nobody, do nobody's fucking nothing, bro. I'm here to run my fucking program the way I want to run it, how I want, when I want. That's why people hate me. People hate me because they want to see me in the headlines. Blue Devil got slapped today. Blue Devil got punched. Blue Devil got robbed. Blue Devil ranked it. Blue Devil this. And they don't see it. Oh, Blue Devil, you don't go outside. No, I'm just not at where you want me to be at. And wherever I go, I'll make sure I'm protected because I don't want to see those headlines. You fucking moron. Blue Devil smoked somebody. Blue Devil had to stab someone. Blue Devil. I'm not trying to. Listen, bro. Listen. I've been through the life and death. I've been through the penitentiary chances. I've been through the struggles. Okay? And when you get older, like Chicano Tube, like me, you move wiser. You move with a purpose. You move. Listen, bro, I don't get up off this chair unless I know what my next move is. I don't get in my car unless I know exactly where I'm going. I don't just be driving around talking about, oh, let's just go to that one place. Oh, no, let's go to the other one. No, let's go. No, bro. I know every fucking move before I make it. That's how I stay alive. That's how I stay free. And that's how I stay outside of everyone's fucking headlines. All right. Once again, salute to everybody. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Go follow Chicano Tube. Go follow the top fool. Go follow all of them, bro. It doesn't do nothing for me. All right. Because what I'm going to do regardless. Where I'm going to go anyways. So by me telling you to go follow them or subscribe to them, it ain't taking nothing off my plate. And with that being said, salute to everybody. I'm Blue Devil. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Go follow my Twitch. I'll be live tonight on the IRL stream. So go follow my Twitch. We out.